A small coastal town in Maine thrives on fishing and tourism. Locals whisper about strange lights on the horizon, but most ignore it. A group of friends, led by marine biologist Claire, return home for summer. Claire studies unusual seismic activity recorded off the coast. Old fishermen warn of a place called the Rip, a shifting tear in the sea. No one dares to fish near it, claiming boats vanish without a trace. The warnings are brushed aside as superstition. A fishing trawler fails to return after setting sail near the Rip. The Coast Guard reports no distress calls, no wreckage, no bodies. Claire overhears divers saying the ocean currents felt unnatural. She notices tremors on her monitoring equipment matching the event. Claire's brother, Tom, insists it's just a storm-related accident. But their childhood friend, Danny, swears something is alive out there. The fear starts creeping into the town. An old sailor, Elias, approaches Claire in secret. He carries a journal filled with ancient sketches of sea beasts. He warns her that the Rip is not natural, it's a gateway. Legends say it opens once every 50 years, unleashing horrors. Claire struggles between science and superstition. Elias marks tomorrow's tide as the beginning of the thinning. Claire decides to investigate herself. Claire convinces Tom, Danny, and 2 divers to explore the Rip. They set off in a small research boat with sonar equipment. The water grows darker, colder, and eerily silent. The sonar picks up massive, moving shapes deep below. One diver swears he saw glowing eyes in the abyss. Suddenly, a wave rocks the boat violently, though the sea is calm. Everyone feels they're being watched. The divers descend into the depths with cameras. At first, they see nothing but endless blue and silt. Then, a gaping fissure in the ocean floor appears, pulsating. Strange tendrils of light swirl around it, like a heartbeat. Suddenly, one diver's feed cuts off with a blood-curdling scream. The other diver shoots upward in terror, mumbling it's alive. The group pulls him aboard, shaken and confused. That night, the missing diver washes ashore, but not the same. His body is bloated, his eyes glowing faintly, his mouth whispering. The words sound ancient, almost inhuman. Locals panic as rumors spread about the drowned walking. Claire recognizes symbols on his skin from Elias's journal. He's taken into quarantine, but his condition worsens. His chest suddenly bursts open, releasing black water. Authorities lock down the docks, but the fishermen protest. Boats disappear, nets return shredded with slime and bones. Religious groups claim judgment has come from the deep. Claire urges the mayor to evacuate, but he refuses. Tourism season is vital. Danny begins having nightmares of monstrous shapes beneath waves. Tom notices the tides are shifting unnaturally fast. The town starts turning against itself in paranoia. Massive cracks appear along the shoreline cliffs. Birds refuse to fly over the water, circling inland instead. Fishermen hear whispers rising from beneath the tide at night. A lighthouse keeper vanishes, leaving only claw marks on the door. Claire realizes the seismic spikes are getting closer, like contractions. The Rip is opening wider. Time is running out. The mayor secretly sends boats to fish near the Rip, desperate for profit. None of them return, only fragments of boats wash ashore. Angry families blame Claire for spreading fear. Tom sides with the townsfolk, believing his sister exaggerates. Danny, however, believes Claire and agrees to help. Elias warns them, the Rip doesn't just take, it replaces. But the mayor ignores all warnings. A massive quake shakes the town, breaking piers and sinking ships. From the depths, a colossal shadow rises, far larger than any whale. Tentacles covered in glowing symbols pierce the surface. A vortex forms around the Rip, sucking boats into it. Screams echo across the shore as waves crash into homes. The town realizes too late that Elias's legends were true. The Rip is fully open. The creature's full form never fully surfaces. It's too vast. Only glimpses of jaws, spines, and eyes break the water. People flee inland, but floods chase them relentlessly. The infected diver's whispers spread to others, driving them mad. Claire records everything, desperate to prove the truth. Danny insists the creature is trying to cross over. Elias warns them that if it emerges, the world ends. An oily black liquid seeps from the rip, poisoning water. Fish mutate grotesquely, attacking anything alive. Children begin vanishing from their beds, dragged toward the sea. The mayor begs Claire for answers, finally admitting fault. Elias says the only way to seal the rip is with sacrifice. The ritual demands blood from the line of the Watcher. Claire realizes her family is tied to the prophecy. Claire's grandmother once tried to warn the town decades ago. Her family were guardians, sworn to keep the rip sealed. Tom denies it, refusing to accept their cursed heritage. Danny uncovers old records proving their bloodline was chosen. Claire feels torn between science and destiny. Elias insists the bloodline sacrifice is the only chance. The rip grows wider with every passing hour. A superstorm forms unnaturally fast above the sea. Lightning reveals glimpses of colossal appendages circling the shore. The town is battered by tidal waves, houses swept away. Those infected with glowing eyes attack survivors violently. Claire and Danny struggle to reach the lighthouse, their only refuge. Tom is caught between saving people and helping his sister. The storm feels alive, controlled by the entity below. Claire decides to confront the fissure directly. She and Danny gear up with oxygen tanks and dive lights. Tom tries to stop them, but relents when he realizes the truth. They descend into the abyss, the water unnaturally warm. The fissure pulsates like a beating heart. Whispers fill their minds, tempting them to surrender. They glimpse otherworldly cities beneath the void. At the bottom, they find an ancient stone altar. Symbols glow, matching the ones burned into the infected diver. Claire realizes the ritual isn't just legend, it's instruction. Danny begins convulsing, hearing the voice of the deep. She nearly drowns before Claire saves her. Tom's voice echoes faintly from above, begging them to return. But Claire knows the choice must be made here. The altar demands a life sacrifice from the bloodline. Claire prepares herself, ready to bleed into the fissure. Tom dives down at the last moment, stopping her. He declares he will be the one, his choice, his redemption. Claire begs him not to, but he insists. The fissure reacts violently, the sea trembling around them. Tom places his hand on the altar, blood spilling. The rip begins to collapse inward, pulling the entity with it. Tentacles thrash violently, dragging ships and debris into the vortex. The whispers grow deafening, then cut off in silence. Claire and Danny barely escape as the sea swallows Tom. The fissure seals shut with a final quake. The storm above dissipates instantly, leaving eerie calm. Only wreckage and corpses remain along the shore. The town lies in ruins, survivors scattered and broken. Claire is hailed as a savior, though she feels no victory. Danny comforts her, but admits she still hears faint whispers. Claire records the entire event, but authorities dismiss it. The mayor resigns in shame, knowing his greed doomed many. Elias disappears without a trace, leaving only his journal. The ocean looks calm, but something feels unfinished. Weeks later, Claire sits alone by the sea. She hears Tom's voice calling softly beneath the waves. For a moment, the water ripples with glowing symbols. Claire drops Elias's journal into the sea, tears in her eyes. Danny arrives, saying the tides are rising earlier than expected. The final shot lingers on the horizon, where a faint glow emerges. The rip is not gone, it's only resting.